I said, God, I do not understand this world. Everything is dying and broken. Why do I see nothing but suffering? God, I'm asking, could this be your plan? Sin has taken hold of this whole land. Will you not say anything else to me?
Job 1, verses 6 to 22. One day the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming through the earth and going to and fro in it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil." "Does Job fear God for nothing?" Satan replied. "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." The Lord said to Satan, "Very well then, everything he has is in your hands, but on the man himself do not lay a finger." Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord. One day, when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, "The oxen were ploughing and the donkeys were grazing nearby, and the Sabaeans attacked and carried them off. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the fire of God fell from the sky and burned up the sheep and the servants, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, another messenger came and said, the Chaldeans formed 3 raiding parties and swept down on your camels and carried them off. They put the servants to the sword, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." While he was still speaking, yet another messenger came and said, "Your sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the oldest brother's house when suddenly a mighty wind swept in from the desert and struck the 4 corners of the house. It collapsed on them and they are dead, and I am the only one who has escaped to tell you." At this, Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head. Then he fell to the ground in worship and said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." In all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing.
Hello, and welcome to a new series of reflections and questions raised by the Book of Job. Whether in film, book, a play, or other forms, to what degree do you enjoy good fiction? Have you ever found yourself relating strongly to a character in a book, seeing something of your story in their story? The Book of Job is, for the most part, an epic Hebrew poem. The book begins with a prologue in prose that sets the scene and ends with an epilogue that has almost a happy ever after ending, at least for Job. The story seems to be set in the land of Uz, in the patriarchal period before Israel was Israel. And although we don't know when the story was originally written or compiled, there is a school of thought that suggests that the Book of Job could be one of the world's oldest morality plays. The main body of the book is a debate between Job and his friends or comforters about why Job has suffered. This is all written in Hebrew poetry, and it's something of an epic poem comprising 39 of the 42 chapters. As much as I like poetry, I don't tend to speak to people in it, and so what we are experiencing when we read the book of Job is a piece of art. It's like a play or a parable. Though like many stories, it is possible it is based on a true story or historical figures. I think that its main purpose is to explore themes and truths and realities and questions. Have you ever asked the question, why me? Or what have I done to deserve this? Have you ever reflected on your suffering or the suffering of others and asked where God was in the midst of it? How do we, or should we, respond to God amidst the reality of real pain and suffering? These questions are relevant now. Apparently they were also relevant millennia ago, and they are at the heart of the book of Job. And it is the response to these questions from Job and his friends, and finally from God, that we will explore in our series of reflections this week. If you would like to join us by reading or listening to the book of Job this week alongside these reflections, do feel free to do so. And as we do, let us reflect on how we might respond to some of these questions that the book raises.
I said, God, I do not understand this world. Everything is dying and broken. Why do I see nothing but suffering? God, I'm asking, could this be your plan? Sin has taken hold of this whole land. Will you not say anything else to me? He said, where were you the day that I measured, sunk the base and stretched the line over all the earth and carved out its cornerstone? Where were you the day that I spoke and told the sun to split the night open, called the morning dawn with its light to show? Who shut it?